wanted to record a quick follow up since uh, since the last episode I had this epiphany when I was I think reviewing my past posts on my private Facebook page or just a profile at my wall it used to be called. Not sure if it is called that anymore. Anyways, I found I some time ago I shared a very inspiring post of some other user describing a conversation that Quentin Tarantino had with uh, one of his hero directors. I'm not sure if it was specified who that was. Anyways, that was an interview with Quentin Tarantino on the Charlie Rose show. And he told a story about a lunch that changed his life. Quentin was having lunch with one of his hero directors, someone known for creating beautifully crafted films. And he asked him a question that had been bothering him. How do you get your vision onto the screen so perfectly? The director didn't hesitate. That's not your job, was his response. Your job isn't to get the vision on the screen. Your job is to get the vision into the minds of the cinematographer, the lighting director, the set designers, the people who know how to create the mood, the environment, the feeling. None of those things are your job. Your job is to describe the vision. Quentin said that realization changed everything for him. It allowed him to relax and lean fully into the one thing he was best at. And the more I think about it, the more I realize how relevant the idea is right now. We're living in a world where we have access to more capability, talent, tools, and resources than ever before. Almost anything we can imagine is now doable. But that doesn't mean it's our job to do everything. Our job is to get clear on the vision and get really good at describing it. There has never been a better time to be a visionary than right now. Honestly, it's almost overwhelming. I'm still wrapping my mind around it. A simple place to start is to spend some time just describing what you would do if anything you imagined was possible. No execution required, no how to needed, just clarity. It hit me how much it resembles what I am trying to do now. I was always so overwhelmed by the amount of work required to create a solopreneur business venture. Still, now, with access to AI and the technology behind it and what is yet to come, I started to believe that this is within my reach. So I decided to, yeah. So I used actually I used this as a prompt. So I came back to Claude with the initial English chat that it created itself upon setting up the account. Um, as I went through the general description of what I'm trying to do, um, it came up with two artifacts, creating a concept of roles that could be involved in an enterprise, and then I described the AI LLMs I used so far, and then it came up with another artifact stating that there may be no need to use all of them, suggested some developments. And yeah, and it suggested to craft the positioning a statement. Yes, so this is quite specific. Um, and what I'm actually trying to do is has a lot is very well described by this post. That's why uh, I shared it on my Facebook feed, and once I read it again after launching this whole program, this whole experiment that I am now documenting, I decided to copy and paste that post into this chat. I just mentioned that just before we move on, I would really like to share something with you. And then that was this post, and then how it hit me, and so on. And Claude responded with pretty extensive comment. Um, well, it acts like whatever it suggested is already done deal. We know we know that we expanded it thoroughly. So what we're gonna do is let me just check what it suggested. Yeah, that's the question. How clearly can I describe what I want this to become? And basically, that's the most important skill you might have when using AI. Yeah. So what we're doing here, recording those videos, is supposed to be on the proof of concept. Sorry, it was sounds from my phones. Okay, so you're not just building. Yeah, I see already a lot of coaches got on with those ideas. Oh, it came up with the positioning statement already, so it's very um, uh, missing the word. Mm, yeah, he thinks, or it thinks it can guess pretty good. It doesn't have so much input yet, but still, there's a lot of. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty neat. I wouldn't say it's the core, but it lands pretty close, at least when it comes to this particular project. Um, so let me just read it real quick. Um, so it came up with an idea that my positioning statement would be: I help people become visionaries in the age of AI, teaching them to articulate their deepest creative visions so clearly that the technology and talent around them can bring those visions to life. I'm living proof, building my brand through radical collaboration with AI, documenting every step so others can see what becomes possible when you stop trying to do everything and start mastering the one thing that matters most: clarity of vision. Sounds sounds okay for that particular project, for that leg of my um, activity, you could say. AI age visionary development. Sounds wild. Sounds wild. But here's the deal. Today is the 2nd of February 2026. And so many people are on it. They are really on it. I see the eruption of workshops, all sorts of trainings, all sorts of, schools, school communities. SKOOL is what I mean. It's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling how this thing erupted. It's like it's explosion after explosion. Like it seems like it's a domino effect where people see that other people try to make money out of it, so they jump on the bus immediately and they start to do the same. So now it feels like the market is being overflown, but it's just my perspective because that's what I'm interested in. That's what I do mostly recently, and that's all I see. But apparently, there are still folks who have no idea what it's capable of. They just still stuck with the idea that it's good at making funny memes or recreating your pictures to make it look like you're in cartoon. And basically, um, it's all about the clarity of vision. Because anything you think of can be somehow enhanced or um, developed radically with the help of AI. Um, so that is very interesting. Okay, I think we can close out the part where I built the concept of the board of CEOs, I guess. I created out of so I started off just as a summary. I started off with Claude because which I think it's very smart move for Claude developers that they immediately involve user that they don't wait until user writes his own first prompt into the model. They start the conversation first, which is a very smart move because even though I think Claude is probably best to you know to kick things off when it comes to building a concept or bouncing off ideas of another, at least initially. um, I'm not sure if that would be the go-to model to start with. Possibly yes, but definitely the fact that it started a conversation made me uh, go straight to it and start there. So as soon as it came up with those artifacts, which I found very interesting, and I liked the results it generated for me. Um, I went on and continued from there. There is also a Polish version of the chat where I think I will probably put the extended concept of the board of directors or CEOs or the C-suite level positions that will be, you know, used as models for agents and future automations and all that. So, um, but yeah, this is more specific. It's actually trying to build everything around my specific idea. And while I was developing that idea, I chose to uh, like simultaneously um, build more universal models side by side, so I can reuse them in a completely different scenario, in a completely different uh, framework or idea, business idea. For example, let's say uh, I will probably actually test it out because there's regardless who that could be, just someone with a business idea. I can check if that can be useful for them, for just giving them the framework of the C-suite level team and see if they can make any use of it. Like, just throw your general idea into that and let them rip. Let's see what they come up with. So now I have this structure ready. This is the C-suite and AI LLMs, which I might actually separate those documents because why not? But so so here's the specific idea that I will be working on here, and here's the general structure that I developed while trying to figure out how to structurize it. So I came up with this general description, worked through it in Polish first. I will probably put translations in here as well. Might also want to separate the files by languages. We'll see. I'll think about it. I really need to make sure the structure and the whole organization of the files, of the ideas, of prompts, of outputs is very well thought through. So I don't get you know lost in it because it's very complex. It's huge. Like I have to think of all the details. While I mean, AI is thinking of all the details, but I'm trying to keep it all together somehow. So as I do my research, bounce through different ideas, I came up with this set of roles. Is Yeah, so these are 21 roles, and then there's this one overseeing concept of some overseeing entity, which is more specific to my concept. My like I named it rather. I gave it rather eccentric name, let's say. So yeah, and then I translated it. So what I'm going to do now, because it's quite well developed already. Um, oh yeah, I need to translate the 21st role that it was created on top of those. But um, the next step for this part of the development process will be getting each one and making it those descriptions must be extended. Like I will probably use some official, more traditional descriptions of those roles, the universal ones. Those existing ones, and then probably use AI to develop the others that we basically just came up with or created based on the same structure that I will describe each of the basic ones. But that will be like another step with this. Now I have to develop this side of the story. So what I will do is I will probably just go here, take the prompt that I gave the English Claude after it asked me what AI LLMs did I use so far. I will translate it to Polish and make a list, but I will also try to look for something that will resemble this structure. I will force myself to come up with 21 just to match the number of complexity that's on here. And we'll see. I'll just have to riff off those ideas and just keep going, because if I could, I wouldn't probably be doing anything else, but life is ongoing. So let me end it right here, and in the next video I will probably develop the list of AI LLMs that can be matched and paired together with the board of directors list, and we'll go from there. But definitely that's quite overcomplicated maybe, but it will be ready for development further. I will just build the basic structure. I mean, the universal one that I could test with different ideas at different stages, with different proportions. So for that, I need to have a general idea of the final form, and once done, I will start deploying it into my own particular specific idea, so that I can start actually building with it and creating like